Welcome back to the Vault of the Incarnates, everyone. Shirley here, and today we're going to take a look at the Mythic Spoder boss, Sennarth. I'm predominantly playing a single target focused build today on this fight, but I've grabbed Sweeping Strikes as well as Thunderclap with Rend. You don't really need the Thunderclap so much, but Sweeping Strikes you definitely need for this boss. And anyways, we go in here on the pole. We're going to cheat up to the left as much as we can, so when we charge the boss in, I can send all my CDs on the little ads as well, or clip them all with Thunderous Roar. It's just a small optimization you can make. And otherwise, we're going to Sweeping Strikes down that great big spider ad, and they always have priority on this fight, so anytime one of those is up, that's what we're going to be hitting. And obviously, we can Sweeping Strikes executes into the boss once it gets low, too. But moving on to the first bit of mechanics here, there's obviously some ice that's going out. There's the web patches, and the pullback on Mythic is much more dangerous than it is on the lower difficulties. So we really got to be next to a web for that, or burning Heroic Leap for each one of those, and we'll show that coming up here a little bit. But anyway, as we're spreading out before the first intermission-ish phase, as we're going up the first flight of stairs here, I'm always trying to cheat to that spot right by that pillar there. That way, everybody's spreading around you in a repeatable fashion. As we move up to the next platform here, she's going to do the burst pull in again. And if you're quick enough, right as it goes off, you can Heroic Leap. And if you clip it like exactly when it goes off, it'll just stop you dead, and it won't inherit any momentum. You're probably not going to do that very often, though, so what it will do, on the other hand, is that it just turns off all the momentum of the pull itself. So if you leap, like, directly horizontal across the platform instead of back, it's usually good enough, and you can stay in melee range during that. Or you can leap back and charge the boss again for some free rage, both of which I'd say are pretty good options. But anyway, our second big spider ad is spawning now. I'm saving my Avatar and Thunderous Roar, and even a Colossus Smash for a little bit for this ad spawn here. And then we're going to send all of our CDs into that. It's also my rallying cry for this portion of the fight. We can throw up a Reflect too, just to help mitigate some of that magic damage. But as we hit Sweeping Strikes on those big ads, you want it up every... Okay, right here we have another burst going out. I'm going to stand in this. Usually right here you can leap off to the left, and it's just fine. That way you're not crowding the space beforehand. But as those big ads come out, I'm going to be having Sweeping Strikes up for each set. However, as you just saw, I can pop it right here. Anytime you've just killed a big ad in this downtime phase, you get about a minute. You can pop it and just cleave these itty-bitty spiderlings, because they don't really matter during the first portion of this fight. They don't matter really till phase 3, so it's just a free, easy cleave. Not that it's that big of a deal, and generally speaking, they're not worth thunderclapping even, just because they die too fast, so I would just keep up as much single target pressure as you can on the boss. We're going to leap back here for the burst again, spreading out for the ice that's about to come out. And we're taking our webs off to the right-hand side here just to not clutter up all the melee space in the front of the platform. But luckily, or unluckily, there's no little spiders during this portion to cleave. We're saving CDs here again, as well as Colossus Smash. If you had a ton of haste, you could maybe send another Colossus Smash there and reset it in time with Anger Management, but it's just a lot safer to hold them. Each time you go up a set of stairs, you'll be able to hit it once and then hold your second one at the top of the stairs for all these big ads. And you generally want Sweeping Strikes active still during the execute phase. So as long as your raid's damage is good enough, it shouldn't be an issue. Nuking those down, then you'll be able to clip executes on the boss and get those Executioner's Precision debuffs rolling. But if your raid's damage is a little bit slower on those ads, I would hold Sweeping Strikes for a little bit to like 75%, just to make sure you can get Sweeping Strikes during the execute phase on those ads. But once again, right here, I'm going to pop Sweeping Strikes once it comes right back up, and anytime you see a little spider in execute range, do it, because the boss's hitbox is really big, so you can cleave executes on the boss itself from the little spiders really easy. It's just free damage, waiting to happen there. Unfortunately, for the most part, the spiders seem to fixate on range players in the back, so you don't get them in melee range very often, but, it's nice when they are. Otherwise, we're going to move up to the last platform here at the very top, almost getting into execute range. I'm going to jump back for one more of these pulls here. Popping another sweep just to cleave down some spiders here. And we're going to be spreading out again very soon for the ice debuff coming out. And this one's going to leave the little frost bombs on the ground that will knock you back if you touch them. We're going to be soaking our first set, spreading out around the boss here. I just wanted to get as far back as possible just to get out of everybody's way. I'm going to throw up Spell Reflect here and just help mitigate some of the magic damage when I bounce myself into that. You definitely have to be careful with those frost bombs if you're on the outside of the track, I guess, because they will bounce you off the platform, because this entire platform is covered in ice and the momentum's pretty nasty, and you can't really charge back if it's too close reliably. So anyway, we're gonna use our second to last set of cooldowns as they roll back around here for the execute phase, and this is just big single target pump. All the little spiders in the back, they don't generally get close enough, so we're not going to worry about them at all. It's just full tunnel sending the boss here. Spreading out on each side every time these debuffs go out, and we're not going to be soaking these anymore because the ramping damage is getting a bit too high. We are trying to leave the middle of the platform open as much as possible. That way when she does the knockback, everybody can get knocked back safely in a straight line down the platform. And the people that get webbed, we're going to be having them stack with everybody so we can kill the spiders on top of them, like you see here. You do want to be careful with the spiders when they die in this phase, especially in this phase. Throughout the whole fight, it'll kill you if you take 2 hits of it, back to back, but really in this phase is when you got to be watching for it when everybody's stacking up. It might be a little hard to see them sometimes. But we have Avatar coming back up here in about 15 seconds, but during execute phase, you don't need to hold Warbreaker or Colossus Smash at all, definitely, for this, because you'll reset the cooldown so fast with anger management that you'll have them back up again. And we're going to go ahead and send our last set of cooldowns here, and it's just burn the boss really before she kills us. And there's generally going to be enough adds at the end here that doesn't really matter. You can go ahead and sweeping strikes and start clipping all these things. It's definitely not worth like thunderclapping during execute phase, but you can just get in some cleaves off of execute at least. And down goes Mythic Sennarth. If you guys have any questions at all, feel free to leave them down below. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time with some PvP, probably. Stay tuned for that. Peace.